Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football, one of our most exciting videos we've done for the Euros. Who is going to be your player of the Euros? I mean, you can do it in a top 5 if you want. You can do a top 3. I'm going to be going through some candidates through the different teams that I think are going to do quite well. And I think, obviously, let's start off with France. France realistically are the favourites. And I think whether it's Pogba, Mbappe, you could even say Kante as well. Maybe Griezmann will have a great tournament. Maybe Benzema will have a great tournament. But I don't think it'll be a defender for France because I think they've got so many attacking players. And I do think they'll be at the business end of the tournament. So, look, there's probably 2 or 3 players you could go for from France. But I definitely would chuck in there and Mbappe. I do think Benzema will do well. I can see Kante having a good tournament. And look, maybe Pogba prospers in that situation as well. So there's definitely 4 candidates there. I'm going to give you my top 3 in a minute. But I just want to say for France, there are those 4. Also, just while I remember as well in relation to the Euros, fantastic interview with Paul Ince, ex-England player. He played in Euro 96, played for Manchester United. Really interesting interview with him. Links in the video description for that. Don't miss it. Do check it out. Me and Paul Ince sitting down having a chat about everything the Euros, England's hopes, how we should line up, everything like that. Links in the video description. Make sure you check that out. So France, yes. And look, let's look at Group A. Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, Wales. Do I think we're going to get a player of the tournament from that? No. But I do think there are players to look out for from Italy. I like Locatelli. I like Pellegrini. But I actually think if Italy are going to have a player of the tournament, I always think player of the tournament is somebody who is either a youngster no one's ever heard about or an experienced player who really steps up to the plate. So I actually think for Italy, and I predicted Italy to go to the semi-finals, I think Verratti. In that group, look, Switzerland have got Zakaria. I don't know whether people realise Zakaria is playing in the Euros. He plays for Switzerland. Obviously, David Alaba. Turkey. No, David Alaba plays for Austria, doesn't he? I always get that mixed up. I always think he plays for Switzerland. He's Austrian. Turkey, I mean, I don't know a lot about Turkey, and I think that's why they're everybody's dark horses. I know they've got a young lad beginning with K, who's like 20 years of age, has only got 1 cap, maybe keep out for him. Wales, I don't think this is going to be Wales' tournament, so I don't think Bale's a candidate. Into Group B, Belgium, obviously De Bruyne, but I don't fancy Belgium to do well in this tournament. I think they're an ageing team, and yeah, De Bruyne is one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. And he'll probably get voted for it because everyone will be dead lazy, but I don't fancy De Bruyne to win it because I don't think Belgium are going to have a good tournament. Maybe Lukaku, though. If they do have a good tournament, I think Lukaku's had a good season. Denmark, Finland, Russia, Group C, Austria. I mean, look, they could have a good tournament. Sabitzer, Alaba, maybe, but you got to look at the group itself, and I think that Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Ukraine, there's a real opportunity there for Holland or Netherlands to do well. And I think Memphis Depay could get some goals. Maybe he'd be an outsider. Group D, Croatia, Czech Republic, England, Scotland. I think this is going to be a very tight group. I don't think it's going to be an exciting group. I don't think there's going to be many goals in it. Scotland don't score many goals. And I can see Czech Republic, Croatia and England not scoring many goals either. So forget your Harry Kanes or people like that. I think if England are going to have a contender for player of the tournament, I don't think you could go any further than people like Jack Grealish or Phil Foden. But obviously it depends on what Southgate's team's going to be. But I would say you've got more chance of a Foden or a Grealish capturing the tournament than a Harry Kane. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals for Kane because I don't think England create many chances. Into Group E, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, Sweden. I think Spain are the big unknowns in this tournament. Poland have obviously got Lewandowski. I think Slovakia, doesn't Milan Skriniar play for them? Sweden, Isaac up front. So there's potentially outsiders there. But again, I think like England's group, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, Sweden, I think they're all going to cancel each other out. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in there. And then you're into the knockout stage. So I don't fancy anyone from any of those to be player of the year. But, maybe you do. And then obviously the big group, Group F, the group of death. Now, I think that we could get a player of the tournament from here. Not because there'll be lots of goals between France, Germany, Portugal and Hungary. But from the off, France, Portugal and Germany are going to have to be on it. So if Ronaldo does well or Kimmich does well or as we mentioned, France, the Pogbas, the Mbappes do well, they're playing very good teams in the group stage, which is not normal. So I think that those teams are going to have a good advantage because I think that all 3 of those teams will go through. And by playing those hard games, I think it gives them a good chance of going into the knockout stage, having played hard games in the group stages and, going deep into the tournament. So I actually think player of the tournament will come from France, which is obvious, or potentially Portugal or Germany. That's where I think it's going to be. So my top 3 contenders for player of the year, player of the Euros are going to be At number 3, I'm going to go with Kimmich from Germany. I've just got a funny feeling Germany might have a good tournament, and I think Kimmich will be absolutely essential to that. I think my second is going to be, I nearly went with Bruno Fernandes, but I'm not convinced Bruno Fernandes is fully fit from his United season. He's been overplayed, and I'm not convinced they'll even start. So I'm actually going to be a little bit lazy, and I'm going to say Cristiano Ronaldo is my second choice. So I think Kimmich 3, Ronaldo 2, and then my favourite to be player of the year is player of the Euros is going to come from France, and I'm going to go with. It's hard because I think it's easy to pick a French player, but it's hard to pick one. And I don't want to be one of the ones who goes, well, if he's my top 3 is Benzema, Kante, or Mbappe, or and a Pogba as well. So I'm going to go with one French player for player of the tournament, and I'm going to go with. Let me think. I'm stuck on this one. I'm like Lionel Richie. I'm stuck on you. Pogba. I'm going to go with Paul Pogba, player of the tournament for the Euros. I think he's going to have a big tournament. I think his season at United has been half a season. I think he's fresh. I think he's happy. I think his career's in his own hands. And I think this is the tournament where he can just express himself with good players around him, knowing that the world will watch him and he's got 1 year left in his contract and he can run it down, or he can get the move, or he can get a big deal at United. I think this could be Pogba's tournament. I know it's a bit controversial. I know it's a bit out there. But yeah, they're my top 3 to be player of the tournament. Kimmich is my third choice. Ronaldo second choice. Paul Pogba is my third choice. But I would shout out people. I did write them down somewhere as well. I would shout out potentially a Goretzka for Germany. Locatelli at Italy I've mentioned as well. And Phil Foden. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Foden has a big tournament as well. So let's see how accurate I am with that. Get your comments in below. Who are your top 3 third, second and first choice for player of the tournament in the Euros? And maybe give us an outside dark horse as well. Like, who do you think's got a real chance of coming through and shining? So let's get those comments in there. Make sure you watch the Paul Ince interview. It's fantastic. The link's in the video description. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Lots of content to come for you on this channel for the Euros. Tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 I'm doing a live Euros preview. Got some special guests on for that one. But look, links in the video description for the Paul Ince interview. Smash a like, subscribe. I'll speak to you soon.